Hi everybody, thanks for joining me here at Now You're Cooking for another cooking demo. We're going to be making a white bean and chicken chili tonight. And I'm going to get that started and then we have a few things to talk about. So I have my Le Creuset pot here. I'm actually going to be making a double batch. So if you're following along at home, you're going to be like, oh my God, why is she putting so much stuff in there? This is why. Because I'm double batching it. Because Saturday, this is oil, I didn't measure it. Saturday, we are having a big sale on Le Creuset. It's going to be, that's this Saturday, October 8th, 2022. 20% off everything in store. Le Creuset, not everything in the store, but off all Le Creuset in the store. And we have a beautiful new color here. This is called Sea Salt. It's kind of a bluey gray. It's really, really pretty. We've got a bunch of different sizes of Dutch ovens. We've got cool new espresso mugs and all the usual stuff. And so we hope to see if you need any Le Creuset, come on in. There's one pot, which is this pot. It's an 8-quart, which is actually more. It's going to be normally $4.50, I think, and it's marked down to $2.99. All we have is orange, I think. But we've got 4 or 5 of these left, and it's a great pot. This is going to be awesome for doing a big batch of chili. And in fact, I'm hoping it all fits in here, but I'm pretty sure it will. Anyway, so come in Saturday from 10 to 5, 20% off any Le Creuset in the store, except for this pot, which is more off. And it's a great pot. Next week, I am going to make lemon dill sauerkraut with a new little doohickey that we have for fermenting. It's a fermenting jar. And then 2 weeks after that, I'm going to make a chicken dish in a clay baker, like a Rummertopf. And I'm going to actually use the sauerkraut in the dish. So that's going to be really fun. In between, even more exciting, we're doing a wine tasting. Woo, woo, woo. It's been 2.5 years since we've done a wine tasting. So we're super excited. It's going to be Marie from Devonish, lots of natural wines, organic, biodynamic wines, really nice wines. And that is from 5 to 7 on the 20th, on the 20th. Thank you, Heather. Thursday the 20th. So there'll be no demo that night, but we're going to be in the store. We're going to be tasting wine, and it's going to be so fun. We're so excited to be getting back to that. Masks optional. Obviously, you have to take it off to sip. But anyway, so that's super exciting. And what else is happening? I guess that's it for now. So let's get back to our onions. For a regular batch, you want 1 medium onion. Obviously, this is more than that. And we're just sauteing this at like a medium heat. And we just want to get the onions more or less transparent. And they're sizzling nicely and they smell really good. So I was talking to Wendell from CLZ yesterday morning, and he asked me, what are the parameters of a chili? What makes chili chili? When does it become soup? And of course, I didn't know the answer. But my chili philosophy is it has to have beans in it, and it has to have some kind of chili. But then I was thinking about chili con carne, which doesn't really have beans in it, but that's still a chili. But that's kind of a different thing to me. That's something that you eat over rice. So in essence, I haven't the slightest idea. But that's what it means to me. Otherwise, it's a chicken soup or it's a soup, or a chowder or a stew. But yeah, I think it has to have beans in it. For me, it has to have beans in it. All right, this is fairly translucent. There's still a few kind of whitish bits, but we're going to call that good. I'm going to add my garlic, and I do not want to really brown my garlic because it starts getting bitter. You know me, I would eat it anyway. but we're just going to get that aromatic, give it a little flavor. So what I did today, so the recipe calls for pounded chicken, and then it also calls for chicken broth. So today I went down to Brackett's and I got a rotisserie chicken, and I picked all the meat off, and then I boiled the bones down in some water. So I have actual homemade chicken broth here. However, you don't have to do that. You can use canned or boxed chicken broth, or you can use, you know, like a bouillon cube or better than bouillon, whatever you want to use, whatever makes it easy for you. You'll get slightly different end product just because like better than bouillon and bouillon cubes have salt in them. This doesn't. This is purely water and chicken bones. And that's going in. It's suddenly quiet in here again. I can hear myself think. So I've got, so the regular recipe calls for 4 cups of broth. And what else am I putting in? I'm going to put in my spices. This is cumin, coriander, oregano, and I have some ancho. The recipe calls for cayenne, but I didn't have any open, so I'm using ancho. So we'll see how that is. Hopefully not too spicy. And I have canned green chilies, and I'm putting juice and all right in here. These are not super hot chilies. They're pretty mild. If you like your chili hot, 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 put in whatever you want. Put in some jalapenos or chipotle, whatever you like, because it's your chili and you're going to be eating it. So clean as you go, which is something I'm not very good at. So this says to simmer for about 15 minutes. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to keep you waiting. So, but if you're doing this at home, just let that simmer for a bit. Ooh, it's 15 minutes later. Ooh. And I'm going to add my beans. These are Great Northern beans. Is that what they're called? You can use white kidneys. You can use any kind of whitish bean that you want. Or, you know, it doesn't have to be a white bean, but considering that we're calling it a white bean chili. So those go right in there. And I'm going to add my corn in. This was previously frozen, but it's been sitting out thawing. So that's going to go in. So the other thing for me with chili is you want it to be pretty thick. It's hearty. It's something that you eat in the winter, in the fall, and maybe the early spring. It also is nice because there's not really much fat in there. There's the olive oil. There might be some fat in the chicken stock, especially if you make it yourself. If you let it cool, you can peel it off. It's not even hot yet. So then we let that cook for a little while. Magic. It's magically cooking. And it really doesn't matter. You can throw everything in there if you want. And then I have my chicken, and I have kind of shredded it. This is just off the bone. Tried to shred it a bit so they're not gigantic pieces, because you don't want to use a knife in your soup. At least I don't. So that's going right in there. I did not use the fat. I got as much fat off as I could. I got as much skin off as I could. Because you just want it to be nice tender bits of chicken. And this is going to cook maybe for another 20 minutes or so. The beans are going to start breaking down a little bit, which is going to make it a little bit thicker. And so we're going to let that cook. I love to serve this with cheddar cheese, some grated cheddar, cilantro, which I love. I know a lot of people don't. If you don't like it, don't use it. You can use parsley if you do want to have something green to sprinkle on top. I also like a little lime juice on there. And then the other thing, with this or without this, we have started carrying these Potter's crackers, these oyster crackers, and they are so good. They're very crunchy. You put them in your soup and they start absorbing the soup, but they don't lose that crunch, which is really great. These are cheddar. We also have plain. So I wanted to mention that we have those too. And that is basically chili in 10 minutes. I could have chopped all my onions and garlic with you too, but that's how fast it is. You can let it cook. I always find chilies and chowders are much better the next day because they absorb all the great flavors. But absolutely going to be ready to eat in about 15 or 20 minutes. And we will post a picture of a nice bowl of chili with all the toppings on it for you. But that is it. So Saturday, 10 to 5, Saturday, October 8th, 2022. 20% off all in-store Le Creuset. Come check out the new color. Check out the new items. We've got the espresso cups, which are really cute and fun. And then join us again next week, and we're going to make some sauerkraut, and it's going to be really good, and we'll see you then. Thanks.